Namaste and welcome to another bicycle live stream on Saturday, January January the 11th at 7:07 a.m. I've ridden 23 kilometres and I'm about to start riding back in a very strong wind, but you'll be pleased to know I'm using my lapel mic, and my lapel mic will withstand very strong winds. So fear not, as this morning's live stream gets interesting. So there comes a time when, with all the information I read and all the misinformation and all the disinformation, I just have to call a spade and say enough is enough with all the horse shit that conspiracy theorists are passing around. And it really is a massive cosmic mind wank of disinformation, and I really need to take the opportunity to talk about why conspiracy theorists are doing this, and to help discredit them as a collective, because they are doing something that is incredibly dangerous, offensive, insensitive, disrespectful, and a whole heap of other strong words that I haven't put in there. So what got me talking about this morning was the absolutely, there's so many absurd, completely mind-wankerish conspiracy theories popping up lately because of the fires. Sorry about the vibration of the camera here, because I'm going along a corrugated path, which will stop in a minute. And the one that, I take great delight in seeing conspiracy theorists seeing their theories completely discredited. And the one I posted yesterday was this absolute horse shit theory that they've come up with, that fires are deliberately lit, and nearly 200 people were charged with deliberately lighting them. Well, one thing about conspiracy theorists is they don't let the truth get in the way of a great conspiracy theory. And so I posted the true information yesterday that 183 people were arrested in relation to the fires, in relation to contravening directives when it came to sensible precautions around the current situation with the fire bans. But out of that, I've just got to get around some vehicles here. Out of that 183 that were arrested, it's a hive of activity here this morning. Out of that 183, only 24, not 200, 24 were actually charged with deliberately lighting a fire. But of course, the conspiracy theorists ran with that, and there's, it's all deliberately done, and there's, 200 people have been charged and all the rest. It's like, no, horse shit. God, this is even bumpier. Sorry, guys. Oh, boy. I'll get over this in a second. Oh, right. Done it. No, it's absolute horse shit, and anyone that believes this horse shit needs to just take a bit of a reality check and see why conspiracy theorists have this incredibly strong need to have you believe their theories, because there is a psychological reason why. It's very simple, as most reasons are, and it's just what gets me. And here comes a strong wind, but you probably won't notice it because I've done a test this morning, and you'll get a little tiny bit of wind noise, but that's about it. Just got obstacles everywhere this morning. Wow. So the thing that really is getting me is that these completely untrue, deliberately misleading theories that conspiracy theorists are coming up with are discrediting the correct reasons that things are happening, and also making it harder for people to know what is genuinely true, and also taking away from the importance of our responsibility and how we can do something about it. And hi Jenny, thank you for watching. So, and of course, this is part of the conspiracy theorist agenda. So everyone has an agenda. My agenda this morning is to help you see more clearly that just because somebody comes up with a conspiracy theory doesn't mean it has any credibility. It doesn't mean that they have any credibility. So let's do something that I never recommend doing. Let's shoot the messenger. Let's talk about the conspiracy theorists and the psychological reason why they have this need to come up with these conspiracy theories. Now, I base my analysis on conspiracy theorists having spent years with two of them and listened to their absurdity and even deliberately tricked them just to test how ridiculous their claims were. In addition to these two, who I've known for years, also many other examples that I can draw from. So why? Let's go back to the beginnings of let's construct a profile. I'm going to do some profiling here. What is a conspiracy, or who is a conspiracy theorist? Here's my profile. It's a person that at a younger age was pretty much what I'd call a spoiled brat, without the spoiled bit, more just a brat. Somebody who rebelled against their parents, against authority figures. They were misbehaving in school. They didn't want to do what they were told. They thought the laws weren't for them. And so, as a kid, they were a pain in the ass. And as they grow up into an adult, they start getting some really outlandish ideas. Now, the problem with the mind is that if you let it go to town, it'll just come up with the most ridiculous stuff. And it's never ending. It just gets sillier and sillier and more absurd. And then it gets to the point where it is actually disrespectful and disingenuous and of no help to anyone at all. So what you will find is that a conspiracy theorist as an adult is anti-establishment, anti-rules, anti-government, anti-authoritarian. They don't want to be told what to do. They think they know what is best for everyone and everything, and they want to tell you that. So the irony is not lost, that they don't want to be told what to do, but they want to tell you what to do. See the irony of that? Yeah. So what you get is the profile of the person who is not what I would call an awake person at all. An awake person is not this sort of person at all. An awake person is a spiritually seated person who can tell with their heart what is correct and what isn't correct. Their intuition guides them. A conspiracy theorist, on the other hand, is likely to let his mind just go wild with crazy ideas after smoking too much drugs, drinking too much alcohol. Oh, g'day Patricia, watching from beautiful Belfast. Thank you. And last weekend, after you commented that you were watching from Belfast, I spoke to my dad about it, and he was absolutely tickled pink. He was really impressed. So, yeah, there you go. So everyone has an agenda. What is the conspiracy theorist's agenda? We've already established their profile. There's someone that won't follow the rules, won't do what they're told, but wants to tell you what to do, thinks they know everything, is likely to take shortcuts to get things done in life, is likely to be incredibly lazy, very argumentative. There's a whole heap of other characteristics that fit into the profile. But the common theme is that they just want to do things the way they want to do without being told what to do, and this gives them a great excuse of this lack of responsibility that they can tap into and say, oh no, well, you know, we don't have to do that because, and they'll come up with a conspiracy theory as to why they don't have to do a certain thing. For society to run on any form of maturity and correct functioning, there has to be an acceptability of people leading and an acceptability of knowing what's true from what's not true. And definitely we should always question everything. And thank you for watching, Matt, and thank you for saying hello, and I hope you're enjoying Melbourne. So we should always question everything. I was brought up very strongly to question everything, but luckily I was brought up by a father who wasn't too much caught up with the conspiracy theories. He was a little bit, but not too much. So he didn't sort of dive into the lack of credibility scenario. There are people that will argue till they're blue in the face that the world is flat. The absurdity of such an argument is just, it doesn't even bear wasting the time on it. It really doesn't. One of the things that came up recently in relation to the fires is the absolutely disingenuous and, to me, offensive statement that the fires were all deliberately lit along a certain route to clear a path for a train line. A little bit of research again helps, you know, throw these absurd claims out the window. As it turns out, at the beginning of 2018, the state government in New South Wales was proposing the possibility of a light rail with limited, like not a massive project, just a limited light rail project. And of course, that never happened. It was never given approval. But, you know, some conspiracy theorist somewhere has discovered that and, you know, woven that into you know, they've deliberately lit fires and all that. What is the point of them saying this? It means they don't have to change. Matt says 100%. Excellent, Matt. 100%, brother, yep. A conspiracy theorist, if he can come up with if he can blame somebody else, if he can blame the government or I don't know, some hidden agenda other than his agenda, then his agenda is to not want to change, to not take responsibility, to blame everyone else, and to just do what he ever wants to do, you know. So it's like sovereign citizens in the United States. Watch some of the YouTube videos with those guys. Oh my God, I don't know whether to laugh or to feel sorry for them. It really is quite scary when you watch some of their videos. It's absurd beyond belief. So we need to be intelligent, not led by a mind just going wild and saying, oh, well, you know, this is happening and that's happening and this is, you know, it's like, no, just, you know, step back from the mind and all the horse shit it feeds you. It'll have you believe anything, and start listening to the intelligence, true wisdom that comes from your heart, and discern from a heart level, not from a cosmic mind wank level. The problem is, with the internet, so many people are just popping up everywhere and going, oh, this is happening because of this. And unfortunately, people are believing them. The simple reason why most things are happening is greed. It's very obvious. It's behind the businesses, it's behind the government actions, very obvious. All these other hidden agendas, shit, it's just a waste of our time. It takes us away from our true purpose of discovering spiritual life. And I hope this has given you something to think about. So, remember to live vegan and save lives, and I will speak to you soon. ahimsa.